What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are all having a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be. Quite the video today. Definitely some announcements coming out of Hedera Hashgraph. We actually have a news BTC article that mentions things like Flare, Polkadot, Alliance Block, Quant. So I found that interesting today. It's nice to get a shout out. And also Central Bank of Uruguay essentially trying to push forward the approval of a payments provider that is going to be utilizing RippleNet, or that it already is utilizing RippleNet. So we'll get into all of this. I just found that Uruguay document probably 3 or 4 hours ago. First and foremost, before I get started, Genfinity has our next episode tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We try to make these as agnostic, as cross-chain as possible. This one's going to be about digital identity and Web3, virtual representation, the metaverse, NFTs, but really it's about the digital economy as a whole. So if you want to join in, feel free to. We have breaking news from John Deaton and Crypto Law. Essentially, the iRemit and TapJet's AMICUS documents, or requests that they put out there, to be able to speak on behalf of their use cases of XRP has now been approved, or at least the judge is going to hear what they would like to present, and I think it's due in by October 14th, 2022. As a sidebar to all this, I know there's been a lot of drama for the past couple of days between Charles Hoskinson and the XRP community, and certainly John Deaton. I can't speak for John. I can speak from, having the pleasure and the opportunity to talk to John multiple times over the past probably 2 years at this point in time. And John is not a conspiracy-driven individual. He is putting thousands upon thousands of hours into being a steward for the XRP community, trying to provide as much value as possible, trying to stand up for us whenever nobody else would. So I have to give a gigantic shout out to John. Anybody that you know in this entire space, especially in the XRP community, that has had the opportunity to speak with John or that knows the work that he's putting in, I think they would say the same thing. I'm not going to really get into the weeds with the argument, but, for me, I support everything that John has facilitated. I know I've had disagreements with people like DAI and Brad Kimes and those guys in the past as well. And those guys have done, I don't watch all their videos, but I've seen some of the stuff they've dug up. Those guys have done a fantastic job as well, kind of uncovering some of these aspects. And I don't want to get into this grand conspiracy aspect or theory, but whenever you see factual evidence and factual documents that have been accumulated through people like John and these researchers and content creators, it's pretty hard to deny that there's at least at a very bare minimum some shady aspects going on. But yeah, kudos to John. Shout out to John. I don't think anything else really needs said. I certainly wouldn't recommend attacking somebody in an echo chamber such as Twitter, because it's not really going to do anything from the community standpoint. But we really want to try to create synergy between, even the Cardano and the ADA ecosystem with the XRPL over time. If you do remember in the past, Charles Hoskinson did stick up for the XRP community, stuck up for XRP, stuck up for Ripple. But the past couple of days have been ugly, and when you see attacks on John, I just don't know how you can even justify that, because unless this dude has been here forever, trying to put in as much value as possible for free, spending his time for free, thousands of hours, like I said, and I don't know how many times you can applaud it, but I would applaud it again, so kudos to John. So yeah, the AMICUS status, looks like Judge Torres is willing to hear it, due by October 14th, which is fantastic. Real quick, we talk a lot about quantum resistance, and XX Network, which you guys know that I've talked about before, does sponsor my content, and they put out 2 interesting articles if you guys are interested in reading them. The first one is one of the quantum computing architectures uses silicon. So the first one is about Intel achieving quantum computing chip fabrication milestone, which will pave the way for mass production. And the second one is the National Institute of Science and Technology, or the NIST, I always see NIST when researching. U.S. National Institute of Standards, leading the government's technology adoption, telling all U.S. agencies to use new post-quantum cryptography. If you aren't aware, the XX Network is building out with post-quantum security in mind. Certainly not advocating you guys to go out and buy the coin, but if you want to check out the network, check out David Chaum's history. Check out Elixir in the past. Check out, all of the aspects that they're building out from a digital sovereignty standpoint. I certainly recommend you doing so. And the two articles here are NIST urging agencies to prepare for post-quantum cryptography, and then Intel achieving quantum computing chip fabrication milestone, paving the way for mass production. Found these both interesting, read through them today. This was a little bit of a bright light because you actually don't normally see things through newsbtc.com that are very positive on multiple different coins in this space. And the title of this is "These 5 projects are rapidly advancing blockchain interoperability." They talk about Polkadot in here. They talk about Alliance Block in here, which right now, again, not financial advice. Certainly don't advocate you guys going out. I'm not paid by Alliance Block. It's like a $5 or $6 million market cap right now. Talking about Alliance Block, talking about Chronos, talking about Flare Network, talking about Quant. So we're actually getting some shout outs for some of the coins that we talk about or have talked about on this channel over the past, couple of years at this point. This came up yesterday and I found it, also interesting. Finastra is integrating its trade finance platform with Contour's blockchain. So this definitely deals in letters of credit. I believe that the WeTrade insolvency, Contour announced it acquired the rulebook and related documents from WeTrade, the bank-backed blockchain trade finance platform that entered insolvency. This will accelerate Contour's expansion beyond letters of credit into open account trade finance. I certainly recommend you guys looking into this. We do know that Finastra is obviously RippleNet and ODL enabled as well. Bank for International Settlements came out today with 2 problems for fintech to solve: cross-border payments and ESG data. What they don't say in this title here is that one of the problems that Ravi Menon talks about, and Ravi is the managing director for the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which should ring some bells. He talks about cross-border settlements. And they talk about wholesale central bank digital currencies and the potential to utilize private blockchain initiatives or private companies building on blockchain as well. It's a longer document, but I found it to be an interesting speech. All right, so Global Digital Vault, which is entitled Tajori, Digital Home for Your Legacy. This very much so deals in, you start digging a little bit deeper. It deals in biometrics. It deals in health records. It deals in, memories. It deals in all the things that individuals are going to custody in the digital economy through distributed ledger technology, certainly in a more efficient way. Launched at GitEx Global 2022. This is built out using Hedera Hashgraph, and they're partnered with the hbar Foundation as well. So this is the Dubai International Financial Center, or the DIFC courts. Today announced the launch of a global digital vault, Tajori, unveiled at GitEx Global with live demonstrations showing the new platform's functionality and security protocol features. It definitely gives quotes from Shane Higdon, who is the CEO of the hbar Foundation, and also Mohammed Madfou, which I'm definitely mispronouncing, apologies, the CEO of Deca4 Advisory. You start digging into what DIFC Courts is. It's not necessarily a government initiative. It's a standalone sovereign structure of the Emirate of Dubai within the UAE and independent from the Dubai courts and government. But still very, very interesting to see. If you look up Tajori, it's certainly dealing in a lot of the things we talk about or have been talking about around digital IDs. So biometric authentication, etc. Powered by DIFC Courts. Supporting partner is the hbar Foundation. The tech partners are Hedera, Deca4 Advisory, FaceKey, and Big Formula. Real quick on Deca4, I did find it interesting that their advisor is also a managing director at Casper Labs. I've looked up this guy before at some point in time, but this had to have been months ago. You can see Swarm Finance tied into here, Shisha Finance. I'm not as familiar with those two. But even moving forward, FaceKey, their solution is identity verification and biometric authentication. And Big Formula talks about UAE pass integration, identification. You get the picture, right? All right, DTCC, who essentially deals with the majority of derivatives volume in the entire world, talking about FMIs having a crucial role to play in advancing the accessibility of DeFi. Where do you think all of this is headed? On top of that, we did see that JP Morgan was talking about integrating DeFi aspects into their structure, potentially for trillions of dollars. I think it was through the Genfinity Lighthouse report that I posted this maybe a few editions ago. But just today or yesterday, we saw JP Morgan and Visa linking blockchain payment networks. Talk about interoperability, right? And And even on top of that, which I think may be one of the bigger announcements today, Google Cloud and Coinbase launching a new strategic partnership to drive Web3 innovation. This is going to be facilitated through Coinbase Prime. If you're not familiar, Coinbase Prime also selected to be BlackRock's Aladdin platform client's platform. And if you're not aware, Aladdin has $21.6 trillion flowing through it or managed from only a third of the largest customers on Aladdin through BlackRock. So Coinbase and Coinbase Prime making gigantic moves. And let alone Google Cloud is going to be enabling crypto payments for cloud-based services through Coinbase Prime, which is absolutely gigantic. We do know Google Cloud works with multiple different blockchain initiatives, but certainly working with Hedera Hashgraph as well. You can go on to here. I think there's like 45 or 46 that they pull API data from. But Google Cloud and Hedera, Google's obviously a governing board member on the Hedera Governing Council as well. This is back in February of 2020. All right, last but not least, we've got the Bank of Uruguay, the central bank. Now, I obviously don't have this translated right here. I had some of it translated, but I had a thread right here and Wrath of Kahneman kind of following up on this. And one of the individuals down here below, Fredo Ayala, which I'm mispronouncing, I'm sorry, I'll just say White Fox, basically stating that the central bank in Uruguay launched a foreign exchange study, but it's likely related to their overall goals with distributed ledger technology information. You've got Wrath down here saying, excellent, thanks. So the central bank has been pursuing policy to regulate crypto and foreign exchange for at least a year. And as a result, LATAM software, which is in this document, SAS has applied for a license disclosing their utilization of RippleNet. Is that a fair synopsis? And White Fox says correct. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to do more, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Thanks. Bye.